right, welcome back to our Tuesday morning game of Wild Beyond the Witchlight, set in, well, originally in Wesmia and moved obviously now into Prismeer. It has been a very long time since we've had a chance to get this group of players back together again, and even then we still have somebody who's still not feeling well. So we'll be missing Dottie today, but we do have Elred, we have Scrags, and we have Erebus all on board today. They're down there. You can say hi, guys.
Hello.
That was also a sound check. That was another reason why I was doing that. So yeah. So we have. It's been a long storied adventure so far for this crew who call themselves the Red Brands, and they call themselves the Red Brands because of the rapier, which is not actually a rapier. It is actually a brand that they procured from a Harengon way back in Hither. They've also been able to make their way through hither after trying to start um, a variety of why can't I word? I'm lost on the words. Rebellions. That's what I was going for. Created a bunch of rebellion with the bullywugs out at hither at Bavlorna Blightstraw's home, where they ended up having to face off up against Bavlorna as well. Were marginally successful, although they didn't actually kill her. They so she just simply escapes to thither. But the party is also trying to find a way out of Prismeer, out of the Feywild in the first place. Elred's had uh, his lack of ability to smile recovered. The curse that prevented him from ever smiling has been recovered after visiting the Wayward Pool in thither. They also met a what appears to be a teenager who seems to be taking care of a number of other lost children after a fashion. In thither, that was Will of the Feywild, um, while also trying to free some of the more lost children from Loomlurch, where they were enslaved by Granny Nightshade at that location. It was a little bit of a back and forth. We see Dak in the chat. Good to see you there, buddy. But it was a bunch of back and forth. They almost didn't survive it. In fact, the party did get separated at one point. Elred was captured. Dottie was cursed for a short period of time to not have hair anymore. Uh, but in the ensuing hours and days that the party tried to resolve all of these issues, Loomlurch ended up being burnt to the ground. They did manage to, as far as they can tell, rescue even the unwilling lost child. They were able to rescue from Loomlurch, as well as actually another creature there, a dwarf that had been jailed underneath the kitchen of all places of Loomlurch. They have now had now escaped. They also managed to recover a number of other artifacts while they were there, not just their own things that had been um, absconded with by Granny Nightshade. They'd also uncovered a number of other things. One of them being a unicorn horn, which they then presented to uh, the unicorn who looks over the Wayward Pool, um, and that unicorn, recognizing the horn as that of their mates, um, gave the horn back with the instruction to end. Actually, I think she said kill, but to end all of the to kill them all. That's what it was. Is kill them all. Presumably talking about the hags. While you were also before all that the Loomlurch fell, you guys were able to get a little bit of a little bit more information by sneaking around Loomlurch. You did find a cache of letters that had been exchanged between at least a couple of the hags, but the third hag as well, um, knowing that person as Endelin, and so you now have that information to work with as well. But here you guys sit, center of the Wayward Pool, the unicorn having just given you an instruction to kill them all, and then simply disappeared. Other things that are happening around the pool as well. The oak tree that all of the lost children tend to seem to live at has actually moved and walked through thither to actually set beside the wayward pool right now as well. And so that there is that around you as well. But it's now up to you guys. What would you like to do? And if you have any questions, please ask, because it has been 3 weeks since we've had a chance to play together. So
Yeah.
All right, that was informative. Erebus will look over at Elred and say, "Well, you have the horn. Do you have any ideas on how we go about this?"
Oh God! Why am I going completely blank?
it actually might be
sorry.
very much a character for that too.
It's still getting back into it.
Should you be asking him what to do?
Why not? I'm hardly.
He often spends just large amounts of time looking into space. Not a care in the world. Isn't that right, Elred?
I wouldn't exactly say not a care in the world.
Some people
Yeah,
take
true.
longer to come to their conclusions, but that doesn't mean their conclusions are less wise.
True, but some people come to conclusions before the next ice age happens,
Well, we can think on it with the others.
Yeah, I think so.
Come on.
It's lucky that you
Cue
got the
ball.
horn, Elred.
Yep.
Wait a
Well, someone
second.
have to keep hold of it.
Am I the only one in this party with hair now?
No, Dottie's hair is starting to grow back. She did wade through the pool. So,
Right.
I mean, it's more like stubble at the moment, but it is coming back.
All right.
I mean, I have hair. I'm a gnome.
A gnome. I've never heard of these.
It's a little bit better than a gnome. It's a gnome. Anyway, enough jibber jabbering. Let's go somewhere. What are we going to do?
All right, let's go meet up with Will and see where we stand.
Yeah.
Not that guy again. All right, let's go.
Well, the hags clearly want him, so probably in our best interest to keep him safe.
I think he deserves to be a bit more honest with everyone. Come on.
All right. You guys start. You have to swim your way back out from the center of the wayward pool to the west side of it, where you see the oak tree standing tall against the rest of the forest that wreathes the wayward pool. Make your way to this tree, and it is a buzz with activity. There is a lot of stuff happening around this tree right now, particularly kids trying to. It's almost as if too many people are trying to move into the same spot, and they're all clamoring for their own rooms or for their own spaces. Things are being moved around. Furniture is being shifted. But one person that you see kind of sitting nearby the tree and just he's got actually a pipe set up is the dwarf that you guys actually rescued from Loomlurch the day before. Just set down in what seems to be some sort of a wicker chair, and just with a lit pipe and kind of watching everything ensue as he watches you approach. He says, Hey, I see you made it out.
Well met, friend.
Well met indeed. The little one, she's kind of the one that's been cooking in that godforsaken place. She keeps good company around here. Lots of kids. No parents.
Feeling left out.
I didn't have parents either. I guess it fits.
Any idea what you're gonna do from here?
Well, Valor's call is gone now. I don't know where the rest of my party is, so I actually have absolutely no idea. I don't know if I want to stay here unless, all those damned hags are gone. But I don't know any other way of getting around. I mean, none of you guys have ever been to Waterdeep, I'm guessing, because you don't look like you're from that area.
Not Waterdeep, no.
I might have been through it. I don't remember.
You'd remember Waterdeep. You definitely would remember Waterdeep.
I've been-
I don't know.
Around quite a bit, and I've never heard
I'll
of
get
Waterdeep.
around quite a lot. I likes to spread myself a bit, you know.
That's learned, I suppose. So where are you guys from then?
God,
And
make me go back into my bio and stuff.
So DM gets to help. Erebus has maybe no clue where they're from. They've been in Prismere for so long.
I'm from a forest in that realm, but nowhere near Waterdeep itself. If
Fair
I had
enough.
the map, I'd be able to find it.
Fair enough. Chances are you will have at least heard of Waterdeep if that's the case.
Yeah, that's
Um,
what I was thinking. I've heard
Yeah.
of it, but I've never been there.
Right. As for Dottie, Elred, and Scraggs, you guys all hail largely from some location in Wesmia. Well, that's actually not true. Scraggs, you would actually come from a place called Stiags.
yeah,
But Elred,
but I prefer not to say where I'm from.
Right. I'm filling in gaps. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Okay, so Elred, you would hail from somewhere in Wesmia, although as a sailor you might come from all over. The last community you guys were all in, save for Erebus, was Roru. And Dottie, for her part, will say, well, I'm from the Siobhan clan.
A Gesundheit.
Thank you. And this dwarf will say, well, different realms, different places, different things, I suppose. Do you guys know a way back to your place? If there's a place way back to yours, then maybe there's a way back to mine.
Not so simple, but we can always hope there's a fighting chance.
Plan on doing some fighting, do you?
There's always more fighting to be done. I'll tell
Yeah.
you what, though. If you help us complete the little spat with these confounded hags, I think we could help each other.
Kind of takes a puff of his pipe. Roll persuasion check.
Oh gosh, I totally forgot we actually have to roll things in this game we play.
Yeah,
Let
in
me
this
bring up
dice game, yeah.
Yeah, totally
Weird.
forgot. It's a good thing I have high charisma. Huh.
-1. Okay.
Persuasion.
We should have leveled up too, hey?
Yeah,
Yeah.
level
Somewhat
5 now?
recently. Yeah.
What do I roll?
Persuasion. You rolled a
17.
Yeah, we're level
17.
5.
Okay. Kind of looks at you. Suppose it's better. Always found that it's better when you're traveling with somebody else. All right. I could tag along.
You strike me as a good sort. We'll get along swimmingly, I'm sure.
Let me put it to you this way. I don't put up with much fuckery, and I've seen plenty of my share of it here. But I'm not convinced that these little kids are going to be able to be any sort of safety net here. So, I mean, you burnt down Loom Lurch, something's got to be good about you. Maybe there's safety in numbers with you guys instead for a bit. And who knows, maybe Valor's Call will find its way back to me somewhere along the way.
As long as you stick around for the story, it's very uplifting, trust me.
I'm not for stories, I'm just for gold. Normally, right now I'm for home.
You've never heard one of my stories. And Erebus will start making his way up into the treehouse.
Which groans with the weight of the of all of the children that are moving around it, and a couple of the kids are playing. They're just kind of tossing acorns at each other, or to each other, I should say, at each other's back. No, but the atmosphere is rather jovial, and you do see even Pud, who is the one that was taken from Loom Lurch against his will. He's sitting in a corner and perhaps enjoying the spectacle despite himself. But after you get up to the to one of the main levels, and there's Will just kind of laughing, watching the whole spectacle unfold in front of him as kids are. One set of kids are playing what seems to be a dice game of some sort. Another set of kids are fighting over which bookshelf is going to be theirs, and so on and so forth. But Will is there, and he says, "That's everybody. You guys did it."
I'll raise an eyebrow. Everyone.
That's all the kids, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, it was a little sketchy. I didn't think we were actually going to get them all. I thought I thought we were going to lose one or two of them for sure. But you got them. Even Pud. And he kind of gives this askance look at the kid.
Yes, even Pod, but the threat's not gone, I hope you realize.
Are you sure?
Not by far.
The
Not.
dwarf said
by
that they
far.
flew away.
Oh, they flew probably straight towards here, if I would have a guess. They're angry. At least the one who we just burnt down her home is angry, and she's going to be baying for blood.
Sorry. Thanks, Dak, for catching my little faux pas. Will looks to you. The dwarf seemed pretty convinced that they flew like right out of here. I guess you're probably right. I should be more careful. Okay. We need to hide. I guess we need to hide. All right.
I'll turn to Elred, Elred, and give him a nod. You're the one with the horn.
Sorry, there was someone knocking my door. I got distracted for a sec. What? Sorry.
Basically, Will is the one that said. Will's just simply said, I guess we do actually need to hide."
Well, they're coming for you, so probably the best bet.
Where the heck do we hide? And he kind of goes to the wall, inside this chamber that has been set up in the tree branches of the tree. So it's basically one of the larger tree branches he's going to, and he just kind of puts his hand and holds it on there, and says, "What do you say, old fella? You got enough movement in you left?" And the tree just does this large creak and kind of settles himself in. It's kind of, you could feel it. It's almost like it's taking a great big sigh. There you are. I could hear you again. Welcome back. That's all right. You got you back again. For that part, the tree does this large seeming sigh, and Will does a quick little reverse nod of his head and steps away. Says, "All right, everyone, settle yourself in. We gotta move again." And you hear a bunch of moans and groans from the other guys. "It's either that or end up being food for hags." And immediately the kids start kind of pushing things around, securing loads and trying to set themselves up a little bit. I see some kids kind of drop out of the tree, off to go get something or some of their own personal belongings that may have been left outside the tree because they were being much more free and open with their space and time.
I hate to be that guy, but I'd rather be on the offensive in this particular case.
Well, I'm not taking the kids to offense. We're gonna hide them.
That's intelligent and wise and all that, but I just hope that after we do that, and I give him a knowing look, go on the offensive. Because those hags, the longer you leave them, the longer they'll gather their strength.
He kind of looks to you. Roll a. Are you trying to make sure that he gets a really good understanding that you know something's up with him?
Well, I do know something's up with him, so yeah.
Are you trying to let him know that, though, I guess?
Yeah.
All right, roll a persuasion check then.
All right. Persuasion. 19.
Okay. Kind of squints in at you a little bit. Okay. I'm not about to leave them. And yet, you're right, I might be able to do some more about it, but I'm not about to leave them. I can't leave them unguarded. The only thing they'll have, and no offense, but the only thing they'll have is Little Oak to protect them. And against hags, that's not going to be enough. I might.
I'll go up to him and kneel down. It's all right. You don't have to come with us. I just need to know that we're on the same side.
Oh. Come with me. And he starts crawling out of the tree and crawls down.
I'll follow.
Okay.
Yeah. And
he takes a couple of steps into the trees, does a little nod towards the dwarf, says, I don't want to be kind of over his shoulder to you, Erebus, in particular, not so that anybody else can hear, but just so that Erebus can hear. I'm taking you over here because if any of the kids see, I don't think they'll trust me anymore. But I really am on your side. I'm on their side more than anybody's. And as he gets just about 45, maybe 50 feet into the forest, And all four of you guys kind of are now very much on guard, not sure what he's going to do. He says, "Okay, I don't think there's anybody else around here. Um, don't attack or anything. I am going to look different." And you watch as his form elongates and broadens to the point where he is a much larger creature, and trying to keep himself curled over and hunched. You see what appears to be some sort of a smallish, but very much much larger creature than any of you guys, a giant of some sort, with pasty, almost slimy blue skin. And he just kind of hunched over, trying to hide underneath the canopy of trees, looking down at you. "So this is my true form."
What is my knowledge on the how kids even appear in this place? Are they born here? Are they dropped off somehow in the Feywild? Like I was.
I will say that Aravis would be less likely to be the one to know. That the ones to know would be Dottie, Elred, and Scrags, having seen particularly Sopig, one of Granny Nightshade's minions, and understood that kids were probably stolen from the Witchlight Carnival and brought here.
Oh, I see.
But I'm also going to say that you would have gleaned that from them. You might just not be as connected to it as they are.
Okay. You can't keep this a secret from them forever.
Oh, I don't anticipate that I will. And he kind of shrinks himself back down into the form that you are now familiar with the afro hair and everything.
I think he's just going to keep it secret just long enough, right?
As long as I can keep them safe. And if I can even get them home, eventually, well, then maybe I can...
Insight check.
Sure, roll me an insight check. And why not? Chat! Roll me for... something. Roll me for something, we'll put it that way.
Don't give it away.
16.
It's an honesty check.
Just making sure we're not leaving them with a monster.
Oh, my bot isn't working. I guess I have to do the rolling. Hang on a second. Yeah, okay. So with that, you say you get the sense. He says that even if when he says he wants to get them home, it's a very half-hearted response. Like somebody torn. Like they want them happy, but they would prefer it if they were happy with him.
Mm-hmm. Well,
If I can...
That is an interesting dilemma there.
Tell you what, you guys look like you're about ready to go. I'm gonna spend some time trying to garner allies here. The more that we can collect, the better. And then we can get our home back and keep it the way it used to be before all this nonsense, before Zybilna was gone.
All right. Well, let's get back to chalk.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. Okay. You're not gonna tell the kids, are you?
No. No.
Tell them what? Completely forgot already.
I like you. Kind of steps back towards the treehouse. Kind of turns back to you, Scrags, and says, "Listen, I know you had a bit of a rough go of it. These guys are a little nuts, but they're good."
I don't know. Let's just say I want to get Chalk back so I can get out of here. Messing in the Feywild isn't a walk in the park as I thought it would be.
No. No, it's not.
Especially when you get fireballed twice.
Well, and I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, of course. And looks over to Dottie, and she's just kind of like, he says, you know, do you know where you're going? Do you know where they went? I didn't think you guys did. I don't know where to go either. I've always been here in this area. I don't really want to go anywhere else either, I suppose, but if I had to. Anyway,
Do
think-
you have to go? If
Well,
Chalk was returned, would you leave?
no. Are you kidding? No, she would be if she could bring it all back. The druids would come out again. It would be nice.
Here's what I know about the hags. They can do that, and I'll point at Dottie's hair, or lack thereof, after a day to someone they met once. The kids, the longer we're away and not harrying them wherever they are, the longer we're away, the more dangerous it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Uh,
You're absolutely right.
when I saw she do that, she did have some pink hair with her, right?
Yeah, she had this
Yeah.
massively large mane of pink hair that is now just kind of stubbling back a little bit at a time. It is growing.
I mean, the doll. Like when I was
Oh, yeah,
captured.
yes.
Yes. They need something physical. The hag had some of Dottie's hair to make it happen.
And let's hope they didn't have anything of the children's.
Oh. Well, even if they do, they can't. If the worst that happens is they lose hair, then they'll probably be okay. I mean, what else could they do?
I mean, for me, that would be a fate worse than death. But
Losing your hair?
yes. Anyway, listen, this charisma bonus is really useful. Right?
Okay. What? Have you guys ever had any other like things that just like your hair fall out? You really just like don't have anymore?
I don't know.
I mean, never seen it though. Obviously, it's never happened to me, but I haven't really seen it aside from Dottie, and we know the hag did that.
Well, and I gotta, the DM's got to do some quick reminders because, like I said, it has been a hot second. So I'm gonna give a quick reminder here to Elred. Oh, and my N key doesn't work. Ah, there. There we go. Whispers. Whispers. Whispers.
Yes.
And I'm not if there's anything if there's anything that Dottie would normally have said at this point, I'm not gonna say that. I'm gonna let her reveal what she wants to reveal when she wants to.
Yes, there. That being said, there are. Wait a second.
Oh, sorry, no, I got one wrong.
Yep, that's what I was just.
Yeah,
That one's correct, right?
yeah, and
Yeah. Though there have been some stranger. Wait. Wait, was it all three of those?
it was at one point in time, yeah.
Okay. Just completely forgot about the last one. There have been other strange things.
Like what?
I can't write, and it's not as though I didn't know or I don't know.
What?
It just
You,
look.
I mean, it
When-
takes some practice.
No, when because I know I know how. It simply doesn't work.
Okay. And he takes a piece of parchment and hands over like this chunk of charcoal and says, show us. This could be funny.
Yeah, he tries to write his name and it's like kind of looks down. I know how to spell my own name, but it comes out like this.
And he presents it to you guys, and it looks like a 2-year-old has gotten their hands on crayons for the first time, and it's just all over the paper. And you guys were watching as his hand was going. He was fighting to try to hold it in place, to try and write the letter E even, and just the muscles would move. The muscles would move again across the paper parchment.
That's an odd curse, if it is one.
Quite.
Will takes the parchment back. Says, wouldn't have mattered. I wouldn't have been able to read it anyway. And crumples it up and tosses it over his shoulder. Anyway, I'm gonna go finish getting the kids ready. If there's curses that are gonna happen, there's not a damn thing I can do about that. But I can certainly get the kids to someplace safe. And so that's where I'm gonna go. Oh, another thing. What are the chances any of you guys got any of that oily stuff that was there?
Oily stuff.
Yeah, the oily stuff that, Squirt needed it. Remember that? Goes over, picks up a little oil can that is, the lid on the oil can just kind of creaks open and closed a little bit. It is animated and just kind of, I don't know if you remember this, but it needed oil.
Sorry, buddy. I used all mine. Taking down the...
I figured as much. Sorry, Squirt. He just kind of puts his hand beside a countertop, and Squirt just the can actually hops off of his hand, and with a loud creak, just keep metal on metal scraping sound, just kind of hops its way forlornly onto a shelf. And then Will makes his way
I
to go work
mean,
with the
we
kids.
can try and get you some oil again. I mean, it's not like we were forgetting about you. It was just we were kind of running for our lives.
I kind of forgot about him.
Shut up. Squirts, I promise you we'll get you some oil.
And the can
Even
actually
if that means...
the can kind of hops across the countertop over to basically be at eye level with the spigot from it kind of looks to be about eye level, and all you can hear is just as the lid kind of creaks.
Yeah, we get you some oil, even if it means Dottie having to learn a new bloody spell.
And it hops onto your shoulder and just kind of settles on your shoulder.
Good little oil can.
Maybe we'll go back to that one place and get some frog oil.
And then you
Yeah.
actually, it does this on the shoulder.
Oh, thank you, oil can. Right, can you sit back down on the table? We got to do business.
And it kind of shakes itself like it's shaking no.
All right, can you at least get inside me cloak?
And just kind of starts trying to nuzzle its way into a part of your cloak. Ends up looking like this great big bulge underneath your cloak on your arm. But it's under your cloak
Right.
now.
And uses invisible. I mean, anyway, let's go. Wherever we're going. Let's kill some eggs.
So, are we rested at all, or are we needing to rest?
You guys are, I will say you are rested enough. I think you guys had an encounter the night before. You got to the Wayward Pool, so you won't have expended any of your spell slots or any of that stuff yet. And you should be at your full health points right now as well. Full hit points.
I think you done messed up by giving us level 5.
Oh, you think so, huh?
Oh, yes.
He just
I can
takes
do
it away.
things now. I can do things now, you know. I got
Okay.
spells.
Aha. Well, you guys have you have now watched, as I will say, over the course of the next little bit of getting yourselves gathered and put together. You have seen the children kind of batten down the hatches, as it were, and the tree is now actually seemingly fully loaded. The dwarf, Elkhorn is his name, has, for his part, got himself put together as much as he possibly can, found for himself a hand axe, but doesn't have much other weaponry to his name at all. Nonetheless, he looks about as ready as you guys would have been back in the day. He doesn't necessarily look as strong as you guys, but he definitely looks like he's ready for something. And you guys can... What do you guys want? How do you guys want to try and get to the next spot? Do you know where the next spot is?
I assume we're just gonna try and stealth up onto one of the hags wherever they are.
And that's the trick. Let's try to figure out where they are.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Yeah. So we know they're
I
searching the
mean-
forest.
We know that they're looking for a unicorn.
Mhm.
So why don't we go to where the unicorn was last seen?
You were just there.
Why don't we go back there and wait in the bushes or the trees?
I don't know if they're guaranteed to come here.
Or maybe they're gonna go back once they realize the unicorn horn is missing. They'll go back and look for it.
Elkhorn said,
Hmm.
I don't know. They were bugging out pretty hard.
Well, then
They
where
went-
do you suggest they might go?
Well, I can tell you where they did go.
Where?
That way. Right into the mists.
And what does that lead to?
Well, I don't know. I've never been in the mist before.
Oh, who would know about the mists?
Mm-hmm. The kids?
Kids, tell us
Well-
about the mist.
Well, and Will's gonna say, What about the mists? They're the Borderlands.
Is it
And-
dangerous? Are there
Well,
things in the mist?
I've never been, but apparently that's how you get to other places. Like, you guys came through the mists too. You even said that to me when you guys came from hither. You said some scarecrow brought you across from hither.
Yeah, perhaps we should have asked the scarecrow how we traverse the mist.
Well, and this is where Dottie's saying, well, we flew over last time in that balloon.
Wait, so we flew over the mist. Does that mean like we weren't
Right.
in it?
So Tolliver,
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
wait, I have a question. If the eggs have left the mansion, should we go back to the mansion, see what we can find, and then bug out?
Of course, it's not a bad idea.
I mean, there's got to be stuff there.
Certainly. And if they return, we'll be prepared, I suppose.
Why don't we just burn
better
the place
to
down
advantage.
when we leave?
Well, I think you've already done that. But there could be stuff
Burn it
left
down
behind.
even more. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. There could be like magic,
Yeah.
maybe even a sword for Elrid. Oh,
Or an axe
that'd
for
be
me.
nice. Right.
As he holds up the little axe he's got in his hand. I'm only going to be able to throw this thing once, and then I'm going to have nothing. So if I could find something, that would be good. Let's do. I
Why not just not throw it?
fine.
Elred's gonna take like a few of those javelins. Just you can throw these.
A little long, but yeah, I can figure that out for now. I guess it's something. Thanks.
Just give him two of them. Yeah.
Oh, what a merry lot we are.
Let's go get some stuff.
All right. I am down with this.
All right, so you guys, I'm going to say that as you guys kind of finish up here, the tree does actually start to move towards the south, with all the kids just kind of leaning off of a branch, kind of watching outside as it's moving. The kids seemingly unaware of the danger that they must be presently in, and just simply enjoying the freedom that they may not have experienced for quite some time. And a little bit less of the rules for them to have to follow, for that matter too. But they are all hanging off of Little Oak as Little Oak is starting to kind of creak and moan and step through the forest, going further south. You guys, for your part, you guys start making your way back towards Loomlurch. And for the sake of storytelling and just kind of moving things forward, I'm gonna get you guys to kind of tell me if there's anything in particular you're looking for, and then we'll just do some rolls to see what you guys find there. Because what you will come across when you get back to Loomlurch is a completely charred remains of what used to be the buildings, the towers, and the old log that has been obviously at one point in time nurtured into what Granny Nightshade wanted it to be, but is now very much burnt and charcoaled.
Well, I suppose I would immediately cast Detect Magic
Sure.
and hopefully see something.
Okay. So, casting Detect Magic while you're hanging around, you're going to come across... Roll me an investigation check, actually, with your Detect Magic, and kind of see if you can get an idea as to where it can go, because Detect Magic has a range, and so you're going to have to walk around... See how long. See if you're able to find. Oh yeah, that's a good roll. Okay, so when you cast Detect Magic, one thing that you are brought to is actually her garden. Remembering that Granny liked to spend a lot of time out at her garden, and there's a variety. There is a mushroom patch, if you will, that is untouched. It by flame at any rate. There's. None of them really put out a particular form of magical essence, or certainly not a particular school of magic, but they do give you the sense that there is something useful about them. More of an effect
Okay.
as opposed to as an arcane thing.
Okay, I would have I'd tell the others to gather some of the mushrooms.
Okay.
They're not the red caps, are they? They're not suddenly going to sprout feet and start beating
No.
the crap out of me. Okay.
I'm going to say you definitely go to where the red caps seemed to be sprouting from, and there is no evidence of creature, red capped or otherwise, in that space anymore. The goblin market, by the way, for its part, has also been burned to the ground. Okay. Okay, so a couple of the different types you get. There's one type of fungus that grows out, kind of looks like it's got this cup on one side. It's that it kind of comes out as a cup as opposed to a regular toadstool top. It's yellow, and it is it's about the same size as it looks like it's the perfect size for like a butterfly to sit on. There is another series that you can get that it's a grayer mushroom with a couple of warts on it and some hairs kind of dangling from the toadstool top. Kind of almost looks like old man hair hanging off of it. There's another one that looks like it's kind of got a scaled hood, very conical in shape, and kind of gooey. And then there's another one that looks like it's like a pink with a blue tipped umbrella. And then one that looks more like thistle, like a fungus thistle.
Okay.
And so you get a variety of each one of these. If you want to try and figure out what they do, you'd have to roll a nature check, though.
I suppose I'll just keep them for later. I don't want to keep on casting the spell over and over again.
Sure.
So keep looking around. I know that there was a kitchen in Granny Nightshade's place. Was there anything else that might have held any items? Maybe cellars?
With that investigation check, I'm gonna say you do find, like, Elkhorn is able to help you find the cellar that he was kind of trapped in the kitchen. There was nothing in it, except for what might have been at one point in time Elkhorn's filth. There is actually, I will say that there is a pardon me. You find a cauldron in the kitchen. You find it looks like it's been used for boiling up some sort of a candy material, because there's this light sheen that kind of covers the inside of the bottom of the cauldron. There is actually, you do find a I will say that you will find an hourglass in the charred remains of one of the cupboards that have kind of fallen akimbo. And the hourglass is in pretty darn good shape, actually. Still must have been protected by the cupboard. And it is very intricate. It's very ornate with lots of filigree, and it looks like it's one of the larger hourglasses where you could actually grasp the whole thing, not just a little thing, but a large hourglass that you can comfortably grasp one of the pillars on the sides. What else we got here? I will also say that that's what you would find in the kitchen. That's what you'd find.
I don't suppose there's a library or something like that. Although I doubt any paper survived.
Well, when you make your way back towards what used to be the tower that had the bedroom in it, it is actually completely fallen over. And it's not completely gone. It's fallen over. You can still find charred remains inside it. You do see, kind of sifting through it, you're able to find the remains of the roll-top desk that was at the bottom of that tower. And you also see a mirror there, too, that is shattered. Um,
Remind me that maybe we should plunder the place before we set it on fire.
I'll take that into consideration.
I don't think we're going to find anything around here. I mean, I'll keep looking, but with the old detect magic, but
I
What can I
will begin to walk around some of the ashes and play my my pan flute, I guess. It is a charisma check. Not very
Okay.
well. Well, it's not terrible, but
all right. You guys all still find his playing of his flute far more comfortable to the ears than what Shimo used to do. But it is definitely a little bit. There's a couple of notes that seem like they kind of come out of nowhere. And actually, even for you, Erebus, it seems kind of odd and slightly annoying as you're wandering through the ash and you're kind of playing through the pan flute. You swear a little puff of air goes across one of the tone holes from beside your cheek, not from you directly. And so you
I'll-
look.
yeah, I'll look at the pamphlet, then look over where the wind's coming from.
Give me a perception check.
Perception 15.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, you see what you swear a shadow just kind of melts back into the ash.
I will let me look at what I have. I'm a rogue, so I'm fast. I'm going to try and get to it.
Mm. So you quickly go to reach out and grasp it, to stab it, to what?
I'm going to just try and grasp it. Just
Okay.
try and get a hold of whatever it was.
Yeah, roll for me an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice.
Okay. Goodness.
Oh, yeah.
I'm rolling badly.
That wasn't all that bad. Pardon me, it was certainly better than my 4. So you quickly reach down into the ash and you grasp something that feels like an ichor, but it also has some substance to it, and you pull it up out of the ash, and what you get is this weird looking shadow-like creature, and inside the shadow you see what looks to be like little dark spots for eyes and an open mouth, and you could hear this gurgling sound coming back at you.
Is this the same thing that attacked the others in that closet way back when?
Oh, there's the closet.
In not Granny Nightshade, the other one, the other hag's house.
No, this is something that you haven't. Well, you have seen something that this feels familiar to. When you first got into Loomlurch and you guys got into the workshop where all the kids were working, and there was the one dark elf boy that was dancing on the table when you first arrived. As you guys were talking with the children in there, things were being moved randomly in the space. And you remember shadows kind of moving from one corner to another as things were getting moved. And you're the only one who noticed it, Erebus. So you get to feel like that might have been actually the creature that was doing it.
Now, what are you? A spy, perhaps?
Just gurgling sounds back at you.
This thing doesn't seem physically dangerous, does it?
No, it feels like an oil slick that has taken on Dottie's personality. It's just a little bit of everything, and a little bit of chaos all at once.
Oh, oil slick.
Is it that kind of oily, or?
It is that kind of oily, but it's got enough substance that you can still grip it, and it just kind of dangles there and almost looks like it's dripping, but not really.
I'll pull out squirt oil canny.
All right.
Doesn't that
And-
seem a little cruel to feed this thing to a oil can?
It just starts
Eh,
bouncing up and down in your hand as you're pulling them out.
now they'll two is better than one. They'll join together. Go on, Oily. You can have some, just some, not all, just a little bit.
And it. So you put how are you gonna do this?
I'll put my hand out to the thingy, to the oil creature, and so in one hand, in one claw, have oil can, and then the other claw try to have the oil and try to just slowly bring them together.
Okay.
What I'm gonna do is I'm going to hold it up to the oil can and say, "Can you turn into this thing?
Turn in. Sorry, DM
Can you
confused.
can you turn into this oil can,
And
little oily thing?"
it kind of looks towards the oil can and just kind of looks back at you, and even with the most basic of insight rolls, you'd be able to say it's confused.
All
It
right,
doesn't know what's
I
happening here.
gave
But
it
the
a
oil
shot.
can is very excited about what's going on.
And I'll give it to Scraggs and let his judgment be the one who decides it.
So as Scraggs grabs it, the oil can opens up its lid, and you try to feed, looking at kind of what it looks like it's trying to do, you try to feed this shadowy, oily-like creature into the top of the oil can, and the oil can closes its lid, and you can see some of the oily creature just kind of um, wrap around. It kind of put a little bit of a layer around the hinges, around the spigot, around the cap itself, and it just kind of all seems to settle in. And as it does, the oil can does kind of. Oh, words!
Oh, gods, it speaks.
Yes!
Oh, if it speaks, maybe it can help us.
Ah, it's been so long. Ah, thank you.
Scraggs,
Yeah, what's wrong? I did a good thing.
Yes, you did.
yes.
I feel a little bit funny.
I I didn't do that, but I can talk, and where
No, wait. I'll feel like a weird feeling inside me, and it feels funny. I'm not used to it. Is this what being selfless is?
I would not describe you as selfless, but sure, you did feed a creature to another creature. That did happen.
Oh, this'll take some getting used to. Right, Oily, back in
oh,
the
a
hump.
squirt,
Squirt, back in the hump. Let's go.
okay, where are you? Where are we going? And kind of crawls up into your cloak. Where are we going?
We're going where we're going. To take on the hags.
Are you gonna go? Is it time? Is it time to go to Yon? Is it time to go to Yon?
What's yon?
It's neither hither nor thither. It's Yon.
Is that where they went?
That's I don't know.
Wait,
And
okay, we know
Elkhorn-
the. So you know-
Elkhorn is actually going to say something real quick here too. Just say, I'm not used to oil cans talking, but it's Yon that way. And the oil can and Squirt's going to say,
That's what I was just about to ask. I was just about to be like, which way did they go and which way did we come from?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's very definitely you guys have been in thither long enough that hither was that way, and Elkhorn keeps pointing the opposite direction from it.
Well, I think we should follow the oil can. It actually seems to be the only one who knows anything about this bloody place. Elraid, Erbis, you're welcome.
Thank you, Scrags. We appreciate it.
It's gonna kind of nuzzle up into your cheeks, Scrags, and say,
No, oily.
"Is there more? Is there
Is there
more?
what? You
there
want
more?
more?
Well, I will want more. Not right now.
How do we make you more oil? What do we have to do? Who do we have to kill?
Oh, just boggles.
Boggles. Where do we find bloody boggles?
There were some at Loomlurch.
Where he is, I'll point them out.
Yeah,
Are
yeah,
there
and
any
looks up.
boggle-
Yeah. So
any
if you want to see if you can
boggle
find
bodies?
more, go ahead and roll a investigation or perception check. Anybody can do this.
11.
All right. Tough to find in this pile of ash all over the place. Anything else that looked kind of sort of like what Erevis was able to suddenly grasp by accident almost.
Huh.
Not
You
by
know what?
accident.
Can I cast Detect Good and Evil?
Yes, you can.
Cool. I get to know the location of any Fae within 30 feet of me.
Yeah, you do. Awesome. All right. So with that, you definitely identify. There are 3 other boggles that, as you kind of wander up and down this ashen expanse, they're all hiding in either a cupboard or in a pile of ash and something along those lines. And I'm going to say you comfortably find all 3 of them. You just need to have a way of being able to carry them. Do you have a way of carrying them?
Let's check the inventory. I think I might have like a flask or something. But let's see.
I would
Could I-
say you could cram them all into a flask if you needed to.
Yeah. I don't think I'd like to use my water skin if I can, if I don't have to though. Yeah, looks like that's about it. All right,
All right.
get in the canteen.
So you are now carrying 3 boggles in a canteen. That sounds so odd. Okay, I love it though. All right. And you guys are confident now that you've found what is possible to be found at Loomlurch, with the exception of Elkhorn, who does find for himself a few other random tools like axes and daggers. Nothing that is the size he wants, but certainly he starts loading himself up with a variety of different tools and implements he could use for causing damage.
Nice job, mate.
And Elkhorn, not Elkhorn, Squirt leaning up against your cheek again. If we're going to yawn, it's kind of that way, and points to Spigot, and just starts leading, kind of giving you the lead into the forest beyond Loomlurch.
Right, let's follow the Spigot's directions.
Oh, this seems like a fantastic idea. Seeing
gonna
his
say-
body is a funny inflatable arm flailing tube man. Could I just get like she just has like offensive spells, right? She's a blaster.
She's currently got lots of fire-based spells. Let me see if I can pull up here for you, because she would happily
Dotty's
share with you what.
So I think Dotty's definitely more of a blaster. I mean, sorcerer, so you know,
Yeah.
Glass cannon kind of idea.
sorcerers don't have much else they can like spec into.
Yeah, and
They
she
kinda just have to
seems
go.
to have decidedly gone fire buggy.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, sorcerers, because they get so few spells, they really do have to just like pick one thing and just hit it.
And yeah, a lot. And so that's kind of where she's gone. There's a lot of the fire or lightning related things.
What the subclasses? Oh wait, never mind. She's wild magic. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. She can do anything if she rolls it. Yeah. I will are we going into the mist? Like, how far away is the mist? Are we gonna take a few days to get there, or are we just gonna
It'll take you a couple of days to get there. You would arrive at the mist. Actually, it wouldn't take a full 2 days. You would probably arrive at the mist at the evening of the second day. And so rather than going all the way into the mist, you'd probably make camp beforehand. I'm not going to roll on random encounters for that because you guys have had plenty of those in Thither already as it is, honestly. And you kind of are starting to get used to the area and what to avoid. And so you make your way through with a lack of event, we'll say. But Squirt is indicating to you. By now, Squirt will have had another boggle. So you're down to 2.
I'll
down
tell him
one
to go
bottle?
easy. I'll tell him to go easy on the boggles. Don't get addicted, mate.
I just haven't talked for so long. It's just been nothing but creak.
Sometimes creek is good.
Uh,
But
whatever you
wait,
say.
how long will each bogle last?
I don't know. Last time I stopped talking after like 7 moons.
Right, so we have a time. I mean, to keep using boggles, we're gonna have to find some way to, rejuvenating oil or something. I don't know.
Okay.
But what about fish? Can you not use
Ew.
like fish oil?
How do you do that? Do you squeeze the fish?
I actually don't know.
Yeah, I'm sure the fishes have oils. What about bee oils? Is there such a thing?
It's called honey. And no.
Yeah.
What about? How do they make oil anyway? I don't know. I don't really give a crap. That's good.
Well, you could, like, I don't know, find some nuts and.
What about grease? Could you ever use grease instead of oil?
I don't know what that is.
Dottie might be able to do grease at some point.
Or we could kill an animal and strip the fat and create the grease ourselves. Though I don't know if it would work.
So what you guys are kind of realizing as you're starting to have this conversation, oil is not a commodity that is commonly seen in the Feywild, at least not this part of the Feywild. That anytime you've seen a light source, it's either been a magical light source or a candle.
Because, darn it, magic's better than just about anything.
There must be a way of making oil. Like whales or something. Are there any whales in hither, tither, yonder?
And Elkhorn's going to say, I don't think there's water big enough for that.
No.
Could you imagine an ocean in the Feywild? That place would be scary.
That would... Yeah, the ocean's scary enough as it is. So you guys are going to take yourselves a long rest before you guys go into the mists?
Yes, and I will eventually tell them a story to make sure they have that plus 9 HP.
Nice. So everybody has that plus 9 temporary hit points.
I'm
Give me a
so
second.
beefy now.
He's chonky.
55 effective health.
Yeah, next level, we're all gonna be standing next to you.
All right. So you guys wake up for the next day, Chunky Boy included, and this talking oil can, as well as this dwarf that seems to now be making his time. Most of the time, what you see when you see the dwarf actually taking some downtime, it is he's spending time sharpening the axes or the daggers that he's got, just trying to take nicks out of the blades and such. He's very definitely serious about his adventuring abilities. And he might be trying to posture for you guys just a little bit too. But the next day, you guys, taking the lead of Squirt the Oil Can, step carefully into the mists. And as you step into the mist, around you, the clouds and the vapors kind of do this dance. And every once in a while, you think you see what might be a skeletal form in the mists, just kind of moving and floating, and then it just dissipates. It's not actually a skeletal form. And another one, at one point in time, Scraggs, you look to your left and you see what appears to be a sallowed face, and it just kind of washes over you and is not actually a thing. It was just a trick of the mind, a trick of the imagination. It's unsettling. It's dark. Sound is nothing but a whirl of wind that is sourceless and does not have a particular direction. But with Squirt, you're able to have a sense of direction, at least by way of the oil can. And as you continue to walk through, you barely being able to see more than 5 feet in front of you, you start to notice that the terrain around you throughout the course of this day, as you guys are traversing this mist, starts to get rockier and a little uneven, and you end up having to walk up some inclines, and a couple of places even feel like you might be scrambling along a sheer face of some sort. But what was once forest and relatively even ground is very much no longer. It is now a rocky, craggy surface that is with nothing but the mists, the dark, grayed mists surrounding you. And just as you're starting to wonder if you really have been lost, and your stomachs are starting to growl at you, saying it's either turn back now or be lost in the mists, the gray starts to dissipate a little bit, and the mists start to open up for you. And you now, as the mists kind of separate, as you take a few more steps forward, you now realize that the path that you're standing on is actually running between rocky crags on a mountainside. The sky is now completely dark and just full of roiling thunderclouds. It's almost as if the mist became the clouds above your head. You're greeted by a howling wind, and just the sense of dark and foreboding that comes with this place is thrown completely asunder as a bolt of lightning hits a rocky crag not too far away from you, illuminating the valley for a brief moment, and then the roiling thunderclouds continuing on, and just the rolling sound of thunder almost all the time. Welcome to Yon.
Pretty drab place.
Don't supposed to be level up.
No, I did your level up early.
A session, a session later, and with no combat at all.
Level up, guys.
5.
You can't level up because you missed it.
Oh, jeez. Another lightning bolt hits another cropping.
Secretly.
Sorry, go ahead, Jackson. I lost Elred.
Oh,
Yeah.
There he is.
it was. We should clearly level up because we were doing side quests those entire 3 weeks.
I
so-
know.
Yeah,
All the side
still level
quests.
6. Yeah.
Yeah. They were all Constitution saving throws, and you all failed. But still, beside the point.
We failed.
I failed for sure. Anyway, that's what you get when you get sick. All right. So, but yeah, another lightning bolt hits another rocky crag, and this time it alights further down the path. You can actually see what appears to be two figures on the pathways ahead. Small because they're distant, but you do see other creatures. Only for that split second when the lightning hits. Another one. Hitting another outcropping. This time, the creatures you see a little bit more detail now that you notice that they're there. They seem to be kind of outlined on an outcropping of a crag that is definitely ahead of you on the path.
I'm gonna stealth, I guess.
Sure. Go ahead and roll for me a stealth check. A group stealth check if you guys are all going to try and be stealthy about this. Try to approach these people or creatures.
I
Just there-
will have touched Elred and given him my thing.
Okay.
That came out wrong. Given him my ability.
Okay, and the ability is the blessing. Is that right?
Blessing of the Trickster, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, then I have advantage. Yeah, 26.
But that would have been Elred that would have gotten that one though.
Oh, Elred, sorry. Still get that one.
Ooh.
I got 5.
That's a great stealth roll. And Elred, go ahead and roll for me your stealth check and put. What is the blessing of the trickster again? Why can't I brain that?
Oh, I don't have disadvantage. This had me down as disadvantage.
Oh yeah.
So, real quick, that is advantage on a stealth check, right?
No, it's just if you're wearing heavy armor.
I don't get the disadvantage.
No. What is the blessing of the trickster?
That's what it does. It means that you don't have disadvantage.
Okay.
There you go.
I mean, either way, even if it was advantage, that would be. Okay, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Go ahead. Go for it.
It's just roll.
Yeah, Okay,
There,
so it would be
got
9,
it.
actually.
Okay, so as you start to kind of slink up against the rock face, Elkhorn, for his part, notices you doing that too, and also tries to slink up against the rock face, and then as does Scraggs and Elred. Elred not really able to do so without also knocking a couple of rocks akimbo too, and they just start kind of tumbling down the path in front of you as the path slightly descends. And with that, you start to notice that these creatures are now bipedal. First of all, they're not four-legged. They're just two-legged, and they are now they've now actually clocked your location and are now walking confidently towards you. One of them is definitely brandishing a rapier or a short sword or something along those lines. And as they come a little bit closer to you, you notice that one of them looks very much elven in nature, but the other one looks very odd indeed. Shorter creature, about 3 feet tall. It's not a human. It's like a walking dandelion. And it's the one with the blade. And its blade is out as just kind of prepared. It's not like it's just walking and sauntering with it. It's kind of guarded. But the elf doesn't seem to be so much so. And she, as you guys get a little bit closer, you hear a little bit of a buzzing. Just around these two creatures. What would you like to do?
So it's an elven lady and a dandelion dude.
That seems to be what it looks like, yes.
And they're looking for a fight. Okay.
Can I? So what's our surroundings look like? Are we next to a cliff face? Are we able to?
Yeah, there's
climb
a
this?
variety of different rocky mountains that kind of just protrude out of the ground around you. You're definitely going through a path that kind of veers and moves between some of these crags and mountains. It is completely there is no light coming from the side except for the lightning when it crashes, which is unfortunately often, and it kind of the strobe effect sometimes even hits up for you guys.
Okay, I'm gonna try and get into a position where they will pass me to get to where the others are.
Okay, yeah, and with the 26, you can certainly do that. Anything else the rest of you guys are going to do to prepare?
Just prepare that if they attack, I'm going to cast a spell.
Yeah, I mean, I've got my.
Okay.
Actually, I would like to. I'm going to activate my Channel Divinity Emissary of Peace.
Ah,
Come on.
pop that sucker up. I want to see what that does.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, go ahead.
Like he kind of raised his hand, like no sword, no, where. Hello. How can we help you?
And the elvish voice is the one that comes back to you first. Friend or foe?
Friend.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a 15 then with my Channel Divinity.
Yeah, it is. And she rolled like shit. So, just and kind of turns over to the dandelion. They're a good distance away still. They're definitely keeping guarded, except for from Erebus, who happens to have found a shadow that Erebus is now just kind of hiding in, and even the elf, with their dark vision, doesn't seem to have noticed you, and you are right beside them. But so you can actually hear this little short conversation that's happening. Put it away, Amador. I'm sure they're fine. They just came from the mists. They can't be from here. I will come in, like, unarmed. He's putting his rapier away. Just... Hello? Is that what I do? Hello? And Elkhorn, who, for his part, who's got his hand on his axis. Elves.
I will look up and down on both of them to get a closer look.
Sure. Perception check.
18.
Yeah, okay. So you're able to tell immediately, particularly because they haven't noticed you, and you've had a chance to actually do some proper looking. The buzzing that seems to be around them turns out to actually be a honeybee. A very large honeybee, for that matter, too. What was the size that this thing told me it was? It's
We got our bee oil.
yeah. Yeah, it's like this big. It's like a honeybee the size of an orange, and it's just buzzing around their heads. And the elf comes. I am Gleam, and this is Amadon. And the dandelion kind of does this flourishing bow for you with their rapier in a much more open stance as opposed to a protective defensive stance. And then they flourish and put their rapier away as well. And you might be?
Elred Spartax. He kind of gives a little bow. These are my. I would say I can pretty much tell at this point that they have not spotted Erebus yet.
That is correct.
Quick psychic message to Erebus.
I can't respond to these, right?
Correct, you cannot. But if can I see Erebus from where I am? I know he's hidden, but if I know where he's hiding.
You know, generally speaking, where he's hiding. You rolled a 26. He just
That's
basically
fair. That's fair.
he basically dipped.
That's fair. Yeah. I figured that would be a bit of shenanigans.
I'm gonna say you're comfortable enough with his presence that you'd still be able to send the message all the same.
Well, that I more meant like if he nodded, would I have been able to see? But
Oh,
yeah, nope.
Nope.
Fair enough. Totally fair. Totally fair. He's just gonna shoot a message to Erebus, just like, I'm not going to reveal you just yet. Just in case. These are my companions, Scrags, Dottie. Oh god,
Elkhorn.
Elkhorn. It's like I knew it started with an E.
And Spigot
Yes.
or Oily.
Squirt.
Squirt.
No,
Yes.
you're not Squirt anymore. You're Spigot or
No,
Oily.
Scrags.
And the dandelion, who's it's particularly odd to see the yellow petals of the dandelion open up into the shape of a mouth, but you do see this mouth form, and it says, "Oh, we're talking about those then too. Then I will introduce you to Honeybee." As he kind of points to the basically flying fuzzy orange that is kind of buzzing around their head. Honeybee Pollinella.
Can I say quietly to Elred, but not so quietly that no one else can hear? Not Elred. Elred, do dandelions make oil?
He kind of just like gives a quick light like.
Oh, now sunflowers make oil. Dandelions. It's got to be a lot of oil in that one.
I am not an oily dandelion. I
Elred
am.
very quickly like, obviously not like hard, but like he quickly like just elbows Scrags, like when he like as he's leaning in, just like quick elbow to like the. I guess with how short Scrags is, probably the chest.
Yeah.
I will, while they're talking and there are potentials on them, I will try and stand where they came from.
Okay.
Just like shift a little and then just stand behind them.
Yeah. Okay. And so the dandelion Amador is going to say, "I am not one for oil. I am one for hero work. I freed this bumblebee. That is my calling."
Well done. Anyone want to say anything?
I will come up from behind, put my head between both of them and arms around both of them and say, "Well, I for one think that this meeting has been quite useful, but it seems time that I join the conversation."
And the elf will actually cartwheel away from you, and the dandelion pulls out his rapier and starts.
My apologies for the brief deception. He is with us.
Erebus the Shy. It seems I hid before the conversation started, and I did not want to reveal myself without due aplomb, if you understand.
And the dandelion kind of takes a stance back and extends his rapier, kind of pointing with, so the rapier's like this far away from your nose. "And what are you in this area for?"
Oh, something similar to you, actually. Can you believe it?
No.
Oh, not very imaginative. We seek to fell evil that we followed in here.
Aha! A fellow hero. What evil are you trying to asunder?
I will look at the others.
What are your thoughts on hags?
Witches, all of them.
We're on the same page then. Puts out a hand.
He puts out a leaf.
Yeah.
And what of you, my cartwheeling madam?
And she's just kind of on her tiptoes, kind of standing aside. She is very lithe, long dark hair, but also graceful. Every move she makes is as if she's floating on this rocky terrain, and I'm not much for getting rid of evil, but I am for finding my sister.
Oh, your sister. So you have a sister, and as soon as you see him say that, he almost cringes away from his own words in a weird way that you haven't seen him do.
All right. Anybody who was curious about that, feel free to roll an insight check, because he's
I
now visible. You can see
Absolutely will.
And roll me a either deception, or if you're trying to let it be seen, a persuasion check for me, please, Erebus.
I suppose I'm letting it be seen. I'm not trying
On
to be
purpose,
seen.
though. Okay, fair enough. Then make it
Six-
basic a straight.
I think 16 would be fine to see.
Yeah. Okay, go for it. What's the sense that they get from that response?
The words almost came out without his asking. And you kind of get the sense that that was almost beyond his will. You've seen this sometimes when he does something really flamboyant, but this one was a lot more than his usual hesitation that he kind of has almost weirdly beside himself.
Yeah, and so she's gonna say, yes. You don't know my sister, do you?
No, I don't. Tis more the shame. And again,
It's a shame. You've treated someone poorly in the past.
Of course not.
Insight check. She rolled a 19.
All right, this time. Ooh.
What's she gonna get from it?
Pain
Okay.
and a regret.
Just say, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to pry. I just met you. That's not kind. For now, Amador and I are traveling companions, as he seems to be interested in unseating evil, and I am interested in finding my sister, who is currently beside the seat of evil, as I understand. It's a happenstance collaboration, but I must admit I'm quite out of my depth. Not I! I am ready for this!
You certainly seem so, my friend. Are you a experienced adventurer, or are saving bees the only thing you've done?
But the bees are the most noble of creatures out there. They help to spread life everywhere they go.
I'm sure. I will take a good look at this bee.
And the bee, just buzzing around them, doesn't seem to pay too much attention to you guys at all. It's just kind of hanging around. It just kind of hanging around. and there's nothing unusual aside from the size. Have to understand, a Cyclops was mistreating the bees.
And you felled such a beast on your own.
Oh, I did not fell it. I just simply rescued this one so far.
I'll look at the others. What would you guys say to helping our new acquaintances with getting something they want so that they can help us?
Certainly wouldn't mind.
Am I gonna get that funny feeling in my stomach again?
Sure you're not just hungry?
If it wasn't indigestion, probably.
We're doing something nice, aren't we?
In the Feywild, a good turn always begets a good turn.
That is the rule of reciprocity. That is true.
Well, I expect to be well reciprocited for what we're gonna do.
I don't think that would be a problem. What do you want from us?
Well, you told us that these bees are noble creatures, and that a Cyclops is guarding them. Correct?
To start, my sister is what I would ask for help with.
And where might your sister be?
With Moongrave.
What's your sister's name?
Glister.
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 Has we met a Glister?
Is that a question to the DM?
No, to the party.
Okay.
I will think on it. Do I still have that letter that I had as correspondence between the hags?
You may have one of them. Which one would you have had? Do you remember which one you had? The one, or did you grab all three of them?
I remember something about them talking about their third sister, and I think they said that it's her name.
Yeah, they did. You know the name, Endelin.
Endolin. Okay, so I don't think so. I guess I could make a history check, see how good my memory is.
Sure, go for it.
Nope, doesn't ring a bell.
We are from, well, the carnival. I'm sure that you've heard of the carnival.
I think my friends came from there.
Well, we used to travel with them until, well, a bad run-in with the bitter end. She's the good news is that the rules of hospitality mean that she does not harm my sister. But my sister can't leave either on her own accord. And
What would you have us do? Take her by force or convince her to let her go?
Whichever would work. We just want to go back to the carnival, that's all.
What say you two? And you, Dottie?
Well, Weeze is planning to do something nasty to the hags, but we do need a bit of help. Does you lot have any items that might help us a little bit?
Well, not per se. Amador's been all over yon, haven't you? That I am, and I have. And I can take you to most any location you seek. I know it all.
Right. Where's all the magic? stuff.
Oh, probably amongst. Sorry, this is the elf. Probably amongst the belongings of the Bitter End. Moongrave. I'm sorry, I don't know how much you know of her.
We know nothing, isn't that right? And Scrags would pride himself on his ignorance.
I'm gonna get Erevis. Can you roll for me? Actually, no. You already did this. You rolled an 18. So one of the things that you will have also noticed, especially now about this elf, when the lightning hits, and it's only you only notice it when the lightning strikes, that the dandelion is casting a shadow, but Gleam is not.
I will grab the mirror that. Oh no, I wasn't able to actually get that. I don't have a mirror. Sorry, that's a different character. I will note that. I have no way to really do that without being rude for now.
Fair enough. She said. So she says to you, I've only seen Motherhorn, which is that location up there." And she gestures, and in one of the distant lightnings, you do see the framing of what seems to be this multi-spired castle that kind of spreads off of one of the nearby mountain, or one of the mountain peaks off in the distance. It is a long distance away, but it is still easily framed by the lightning in the sky. That's the Bitter End's home. And I was there for a time. As a sort of guest. Unwelcome as I was, I think.
Okay. So let me just get this straightened out. You want us to free some bees from an ogre, or sorry, cyclops.
Indeed, I could use the assistance.
Yes, we would assist you. And you want us to find your sister that has been captured, or at least held under house arrest by a what is this woman? Sorry.
Well, you've been talking about the hags.
And you believe it's the hags.
Well, the Bitter End is a hag. We call her the Bitter End. I call her the Bitter. What are some of the other names?
Oh shoot! There's another hag.
And Amadon speaks up. She goes by many names: Creeping Lynn, the Bitter End, the Dame of Unhappy Endings, Moongrave. I believe she's also got the name Endolin.
Gods.
How many hags do you have in this bloody place?
I've heard of 3.
3's all you need to be a problem. We need to make sure we do not fight them together.
Well, that's easy.
Okay.
We just assassinate them one by one.
That's preferable, but we've failed every time we've tried.
Well, it's not my fault. Someone fireballed me, eh, Dottie?
I'm sorry. I can control it now, though.
I believes it when I sees it.
I can show you.
No.
I can do it right
maybe.
now.
I have a question. Maybe we can get one away from the rest of the group, the other 2, and kill it.
That would be the plan. If we can
And
break
I
the
think we can
3
use the
even by
old
1,
horn.
it will be a huge advantage.
We could use the horn that we found. Well, Elred found.
Are they
The
really that?
unicorn one.
Are they really that dangerous in 3s? This is
If
the
you
elf
believe the
talking.
legends, the more hags you have, the more powerful they become, and three's the tipping point. At least that's what all the legends say.
What do you think about the mines? She turns over to Daniel. What do you think about the mines? Oh, the co-reds? If you think you must, then I suppose an alliance would be appropriate, but I don't
who
believe
are
that
now?
they'll actually do anything. The co-reds. They work at the mine at Lockbury Henge.
Very henge. I will look over at Elred and say, "You've been quite quiet. Do you think this is the correct course of action?"
Yeah, not sure we got many other options.
Oh, there's always
Right
options.
then. Right then. Onward we shall go.
Onward.
You know the area.
He extends his rapier and he starts walking back the way that they came from to begin with.
What were you two doing out here in the first place?
The Gleam will actually lean a little bit over towards you, Eris, and say, "Running away. I think the beekeeper was too much for him. I heard that."
It was a noble retreat, I'm sure.
Live to fight another day. That's what I always say.
A wise attitude.
And now I have additional companions. I have a dwarf. I have whatever you are, pointing towards you, Elred. Another elf. This one, sneaky. And then whatever you are, pointing towards Scrags. And
I'm an elf as well. Just a very small one.
and I'm a bugbear. And
Pleased to meet you, Bug. Mr. Bear.
Gleam just kind of giggles a little bit. And then whatever human-like thing you are, short as you may be, which is funny coming from the dandelion, who's actually shorter than Dottie.
Oh
She's
gosh.
a gnome, I am a dragonborn.
A dragonborn. Your parents are dragons?
More distant relatives.
Ew. Whatever.
Oh gosh. Ew. He just said ew to you.
Yes, he did.
And he continues marching forward down the path. And I think, for the purposes of not starting anything that we can't finish today, I think I'm going to pause our session there. You guys have now made your way out of thither into Yon, made some new acquaintances, and are now marching off to some combat that you... Well, who knows? Bees or hags? Beekeepers or hags? One or the other.
True.
But that's where we'll call it for the day today.
Cool stuff.
All right.
Yep. All right, cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys very much again for,
Thank you.
getting back, 3 weeks away. That kind of woofed. That was a mind melt to try to play catch up on that a bit. But I'm glad that we did that and
Yeah.
are
So
able
this
to.
this game we're not going every other week, right?
No, this game we're supposed to be going every week. It's just that the
Okay.
month of September
Yeah.
was not friendly to your constitutions or mine. So
It's not supposed to be every other week.
yeah, exactly. No, it was over the summer months, but we're back to it on the weekly basis. So we'll be back again next week.
Alright.
Now in Canada, we have Thanksgiving next week. So, but I am still operate. I will still play the game on Tuesday morning anyway. Tuesday morning for me anyway. It's different for everybody else. Um, but yeah, we enjoy our Thanksgiving, and then sometime soon we'll be seeing some time zone shifts, and so some things
Yeah.
will shift again with that. But as I come across those time zone shifts, I'll let you know what changes happen.
Okie doke. Thank
Cool.
you so much.
Sounds good.
Awesome. And thanks to the chat for joining us. Dak is entertained with the. He puts out a leaf. I see they're branching out. He says.
Aha.
All right. Have a great one, guys. And we will, for all the other games we have going on this week, we have The Legends of Zelda that's happening on tomorrow evening, evening my time at any rate. And then Thursday we have our Random Adventures back, and then the Olivon Chronicles on Friday. So if you wish to join in on that, we would love to see you guys on those sessions. And that's it. Peace out. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
Thank you very much.